The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Chen's footsteps echoed across the marble floor. For 3 centuries, humanity had sat at the periphery of galactic politics, tolerated, barely acknowledged, perpetually dismissed as the galaxy's newest and most primitive member species. The motion is denied, Chancellor Vextar announced, his crystalline voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. Humanity's proposal for defensive fleet expansion violates the Restricted Species Protocol. Your military capabilities will remain capped at current levels. Chen paused at the chamber's massive doors, her hand resting on the ornate handle. The other delegates, beings from 100 different worlds, watched with barely concealed satisfaction. The Zephyrians' gill slits fluttered with amusement. The Korvaxi delegation clicked their mandibles in what passed for laughter among their kind. Ambassador Chen, Vextar called out, his tone dripping with condescension. Perhaps in another century, when humanity has proven itself more civilized, we might reconsider. Chen turned slowly, her face a mask of calm that concealed the fury burning beneath. Chancellor, honored delegates, she said, her voice carrying clearly across the vast chamber. For 300 years, Earth has abided by every treaty, honored every agreement, and contributed to galactic peace despite being treated as second-class citizens. Your point? Vextar's patience was wearing thin. My point is that we tried to do this the civilized way. Chen's eyes swept across the assembly. We came to you in good faith, following your protocols, respecting your traditions. We asked for permission to defend ourselves against the growing Ravager threat at the galaxy's edge. The Korvaxi Prime Delegate rose from his seat, his chitinous frame towering above the others. The Ravagers are a minor concern. A few dozen raiding ships at most. Hardly worthy of. Hardly worthy. Chen's composure cracked slightly. They've already consumed 17 border colonies. Human colonies, because they're conveniently outside your protection zones. Regrettable, Vextar said with a dismissive wave. But expanding human military capabilities sets a dangerous precedent. Chen nodded slowly. I see. Then Earth formally withdraws from the Galactic Council, effective immediately. The chamber erupted. Delegates rose from their seats, voices rising in dozens of languages and communication methods. Never in the Council's 1,000-year history had a member species simply walked away. You cannot, Vextar began. We can, and we are, Chen replied. Earth hereby declares its independence from galactic oversight. We'll handle our own defense from now on. She walked out without another word, leaving chaos in her wake. 3 months later, the first reports began filtering in. Entire Ravager fleets, hundreds of ships strong, simply vanishing. No distress calls, no wreckage, no survivors. Just empty space where terror had once reigned. Then came the intelligence reports that sent ice through Vextar's crystalline heart. The Ravagers weren't just disappearing, they were being systematically hunted by an unknown force using technology decades ahead of anything in the galactic database. The truth arrived with the morning's sensor reports, 1,000 ships on the horizon, approaching Council space in perfect formation. Each vessel bristled with weapons that made the Council's finest warships look like primitive shuttlecraft. At their head flew a single, familiar vessel, Ambassador Chen's diplomatic transport, now retrofitted with armor that gleamed like a mirror. The communication came on all frequencies simultaneously. This is Admiral Chen of the Terran Defense Fleet. We've finished cleaning up. Your Ravager problem. We're here to discuss new terms for Earth's return to the Council. I trust you'll find our proposal more compelling this time. Vextar stared at the tactical display in horror. Humanity hadn't just left the Council, they'd been preparing for this moment for decades, quietly building a fleet that could reshape the balance of galactic power. Sometimes, the newest member of the family turned out to be the most dangerous. Word count, 650.